In the ancient city of Cornith, where cobblestone streets twist and spiral like a labyrinth of secrets, the air hums with the last whispers of the year. The week-long celebration nears its end, culminating in the grand Festival of Miracles. Lanterns glow like captured stars, casting an otherworldly light over the bustling market squares and sacred shrines. Street performers dazzle the crowds, mystics offer whispered prophecies, and every soul in Cornith, from the noble to the lowly, gather to bear witness to the wondrous, and the strange. Whispers say that on this day, miracles are not just legend, but are woven into the very fabric of the city. The air tingles with possibilities, and even the skeptics can't ignore the tug of the magic that permeates every corner of the city. The city holds its breath. What wonders, what dangers, what might the Festival of Miracles bring? As you step into this event, you can feel it too. Cornith is alive once again, watching and waiting. So, you have the day. You have until tonight to attend the big culminating celebration in the garden and the dedication of the statue to the fallen. And so now each of you can choose to do what you want with your day. I mean, everybody remembers where you kind of like left off yesterday. What I'm going to do is ask you to each roll a 20-sided die and then tell me what your role is, and then I will ask you what you're going to do with your day. And if you want to role play all or a part of it, you tell me which part of it you want to play. If you want to say, "Oh, I'm just going to fast forward through my bit," just tell me if I'm successful or not with whatever I want to do. Then I can do that too. Um, and then what we'll do is, you can stay together or you can separate. And then, but during your time, whether you choose to role play all or none of it, I will still have you roll for a random encounter. And then I have a chart that's made up, and I'll tell you what your random, if you do get a random encounter, I'll tell you what your random encounter is, and we will role play that. Okay?
All right.
All right.
Sounds cool.
Everybody roll a 20-sided die and tell me what your role is.
Oh my God.
What, one?
No. I was ready to do it this time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you got a 20.
You wasted it.
I know. I was like, oh, God damn it.
All right. You got a 20?
Yeah.
All right.
You explode.
Remember your role. I'll just start with Kane unless anybody else got a 20.
No.
All right, Sledge.
Okay.
How would you like to spend your day during the Festival of Miracles?
Honestly, I would like to go and maybe meet with the dwarves and see if they have any armor that might be useful for me in Parth.
Okay.
Things that might be just to add to since I can actually attach the armor to myself.
Okay.
Nothing they maybe need to make. Maybe there's just stuff laying around that they may have.
Okay.
That they could suggest.
So you're going to talk to the dwarves. Do you want to role play it, or do you want me to tell you whether or not?
I mean, when we get that, no, you can go through it, and then if there's a random encounter, I'll deal with it.
Okay. So the dwarves indeed tell you that they can set you up with some better armor.
Okay.
Okay, but it will take a day or two for them to do it for you. They could probably have it by the end of the day, but before the end of the day tomorrow.
Before we leave for Parth.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Is there anything else that you wanted to do as well?
Maybe just walk around the Staff and Sky and look through their library to see if there's something I could find out about myself and or the hammer.
Okay, so you want to look and see if you can find any information on the realm where you came from.
Correct.
Okay. I do need you to roll a 20-sided die, and then I'll tell you whether or not you have a random encounter.
3. The complete other end of the spectrum.
Okay. Now I need you to roll a percentile die.
Okay. 54.
Okay. As you're making your way, if you speak to the dwarves. The dwarves are happy to help you. They know you. Um, they actually refer to you as one of the four ravens now.
Aw.
So as you make your way down through the city,
Mhm.
you see that you see that there is a large crowd that's kind of gathered in one of the village squares, and you hear a lot of people like kids are like cheering, and you see that there's a lot of children, which is you haven't seen a lot of kids since you've gotten
No,
here.
it's nice to hear them actually, considering that they've been.
And you see that there are also a lot of adults that are there, and you see that there's like all of a sudden you hear like there's like a noise like a like it sounds like an engine, and then all of a
Okay.
sudden you see like there's a big kind of a big cloud of steam. You're
I started reaching for
and you
my hammer.
and you hear everybody go "Ah!"
Okay, I pull my hand away.
All right, and you see that as you're walking away, as you kind of put your hammer away, you see that people are walking away now, but you see that they have these little tiny cups, and in the cups they're eating something out of the cups.
I asked one of the people, I'm like, may I ask what you're eating there?
He says, "The gnomes have this fantastic invention. It makes this delicious treat. It's frozen without ice. It's delicious.
Fascinating.
Would you like, if you want to try some, you should try some. The gnomes have created this amazing thing."
It sounds delightful. Thank you.
You see that he's got like this cup, and in
Uh-huh.
the cup there's like this, it looks like almost like a soft gelatinous white blob, and it's also covered in these brightly covered sparkles, but
Right.
they're apparently edible. They look like candy.
I look around for a gnome.
All right, you see that there are four gnomes that are working this giant machine. One of them is like on a seat, and he's holding on to these like handlebars, and he's pedaling like mad, and it's making the machine go. And you see that the machine has kind of got all these spinny things. There's a huge kind of cauldron, and it's blowing the bellows. And you see that there are all these kind of gauges and dials and things like that. And the steam continues to build up. The bicycle is like pumping the thing. And then you see that there are like these copper tubes that stretch around and bend. And then there's like this big thing that leads to another container that's little bit smaller. And then you see that there is another thing that's spinning around that looks like it's full of rocks. And then you look a little bit closer and you realize that it's actually full of salt.
Ew.
And finally, you see that there is one more copper tube, and there's another gnome that's at the end, and he is kind of got like a tap, almost like a beer tap,
Uh-huh.
and he's pulling it down, and he's filling this cup up with this delicious looking treat. Although you can't eat it, but
No. But I asked one of the gnomes, I'm like, will you be around later?
he's like, "Oh, hello, yes, here. Would you like to try some?"
I can't eat, but the four ravens would probably love this.
Of course.
I'll
Anything
remember
for the four ravens.
I'll bring them back here later.
All right. He goes, looks at you and he says, "You are certainly a strange looking fellow." And he goes, "Are you man or I'm sorry, are you man or machine?"
I reach my hand out so that he can check it out.
All right. And he looks and he goes, "Fantastic." You see,
I'm like-
he goes, "Hey, come see this man."
I'm like, I'm alive.
And he goes, "Alive, and yet
Johnny
You're-
Five alive.
I don't get a lot of slivers.
I
I
am alive."
I'm like, I don't get a lot of slivers, and I laugh. Ha!
You see, he kind of take a step back and he's like, "Oh."
That's
I
great.
have to work on that one. And so
And
I let the gnomes kind of check me out for a bit before I head to the staff and sky.
All right. You hear somebody else, "Bottle brush, hurry, pull the lever. The steam's building too high." And he goes, "Oh, I gotta go." And
Bye.
he pulls he like hits, one of those levers that have like the handle on the top.
Right, the
He's like,
release chain. Yeah.
Yeah, and he like lays on it and pulls it down, and you hear like, and you hear the crowd's like, "Ah!" And he goes, there is frozen cream for everyone."
That's awesome. That's amazing. All right, so I head to the
And
establishment.
so the first McDonald's with the broken ice cream maker was born.
Oh, it's broken. Damn it.
That's his name, Bottle Brush McDonald.
That's awesome.
No, no. Who got anyone get a 19? Sledge, I'll come back to you, okay?
Yeah, no worries, of course.
Huh?
Why don't we just tell you what we got and then you'll
Oh,
go next?
all right, yeah. Tell me what you got.
I got an 11.
I got a 5.
I
5?
got 15.
All right. So, Kate, how would you like to spend your day?
I am going to spend my day with the elves, specifically my mother and or Ibernell, mostly Ibernell, but
But really just Ibernell. Actually, not
I
my
feel
mother
like
at all.
I haven't been around the elves enough while they're here, and since they are my people.
Yep. Is there anything specific you would like to do with Mariel or Ibernell?
I offer
Or both
Ibernell
of
to
them?
just to kind of take a walk through the city because I don't know how much of the city he's been able to see either because he seems to either be in meetings or helping us out of a jam. So
Yeah.
I basically say like, would you like to take a walk through the city and see the sights?
You know, I think I would quite like that. Yes. He says, I hear that this this day in particular, there are people from all over the realm that are visiting, and there may be many things of interest that we can do.
Very much so. I finally have a bit of downtime, so I thought it'd be nice to um trapeze through the town together.
Sure. Would you like to role play the whole thing, or do you want to do just roll for your random encounter?
Roll for the random encounter because I don't think I need to role play. It's just him and I spending time together more than
Yeah.
anything.
Look at the
Yeah.
birds. Look at the trees.
Well, you're having actually a really great time. Ibernell is he's way more reserved than you, obviously.
Right.
And Simon, do you bring Simon with you as well?
Yeah. Simon as well.
Okay, so Simon comes with you.
And I give Simon the option to stay in bird form or go in boy form if he
Oh,
wants to be able to try stuff.
No, he wants to be in bird form. That's his
Oh, yeah.
that's
He
his
prefers it.
what he calls that his true form,
Yep.
you know. So yeah, he prefers it, and he's still not hasn't exactly gotten the hang of walking on legs
Okay.
without the help of wings. So yeah,
Yeah.
especially
So,
not just like two legs.
and I become a little bit more reserved myself when I'm around Ibernal. I kind of like match his pace and tone,
Okay.
um, just to keep him at ease or whatever, and not to. I'm trying to learn the ways of the high fae, or the high fae, or
The
the
high
high elf.
elves.
Since
Yeah.
I'm a high elf,
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn more about my true origins.
Yeah.
I'll
So, and
always be a little wild though.
during during your conversations, you guys speak Elvish too,
Yep.
which you're not 100% used to just speaking in Elvish because you usually don't hang with other elves.
Right.
The other thing that you notice is that he very politely tells you when you're pronouncing something more like he's like, actually, the not in a condescending way at all, and he goes, if you don't mind, just in we high elves pronounce it this way, and he will like politely correct you. At first you kind of bristle at that a little bit, like, why do you condescend to me, like at first, but you realize that he means no harm by it. He's actually trying to be helpful.
I actually don't think my character would bristle at that because she's
Okay.
not only because she's with her neutral status, she would see it as someone, especially someone like him, helping her out. I tell him I'm grateful to him for assisting me and um, to please continue because I do appreciate it. So
Yeah. So I mean, he doesn't do it very often. In
yeah,
fact, he tells you that your high elf uh accent isn't bad for somebody who had very little opportunity to speak the high elf dialect. So
well, and I do have an 18 intelligence too, so
right,
I'm sure I
right,
could pick up the
right.
nuances pretty
Yeah,
quickly.
no, he definitely you apply some of the learning like the accent to other words than the one he corrected you on. And he was like, "Oh, look," and he notices it too. And you realize that Ibernell, aside from being a really good warrior, he also is extremely intelligent. So, and he also tells you that he has gotten to a point now where he is actually learning to practice spells, and he's thinking about kind of putting his sword aside to focus on learning how to do spells, and that many high elves actually do dual classes, and that they learn multiple skills throughout their lifetime because they have incredibly long lifespans. So a lot of times they'll get to a point where they're like, I've been a warrior long enough. Now I want to learn how to cast spells.
Right.
And that it's extremely common among high elves. So,
What
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what class is he technically trained as?
He's a fighter.
Just a fighter? Okay.
Yeah.
I asked him a little bit more like about just the magic discipline, like what sort of spell work is he looking at and stuff like that. Like definitely take an interest. Even we don't have to role play that, just
Yeah. No, well, he's learning some very simple cantrips to start. And he
okay.
says, but the queen has definitely given him some excellent reading materials, and he's already starting to learn the magical language. So
Okay.
he's learning from spell books, but he's starting with cantrips.
That's cool.
So right now he can throw his voice, and he goes, although I know many of these spells are not incredibly useful. And he goes, I can light a candle, I can throw my voice. And he goes, he says, "Oh, and there's another spell that I can do that will make food taste especially good. It freshens stale bread."
I say that, there's every spell has more than one use. You can light a candle, but that also means that if you needed a fire for something, like you needed to light a torch, you wouldn't need to rely on flint and steel. And so I kind of talked to him about the practical applications and kind of um, even talk about the unusual ways I've used some of my spells in fighting and stuff like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like the time that I put up a wall of fire in the middle of the air after changing with Simon to kill a bunch of undead birds and
Yep. Yeah.
and just and talk about just because you learn something, being as flexible as possible with possible applications will give you greater success in the future. And I say that in a non-condescending way.
Yeah. Well, he said he also lets you know that like that's where he needs to learn is how to um how to think creatively. He says he goes, there's more of an art to magic than there is to fighting. And he goes, I am not an artist. But I want to be. I wish to be. So I just need to practice. That is a muscle in my mind that I have not often had an opportunity to use. So
Well, and I tell him if any time he wants to discuss anything or get any or just have someone to discuss it with, I'd be more than happy to do that with them.
he says, I appreciate that. But you and I both know that the road calls you, does it not?
I hope one day it will not. It would be nice to be able to commune more with nature and not always be pulled in one direction or another. I started this life because I knew that there was more than the world tree and the surrounding forest, and I wanted to see more. And despite Edda's desire to keep me there, I knew that the world was larger and I wanted to be more a part of it. And now that I am, after all the horrors that I've seen, I kind of long for the quiet and solitude of the trees.
He says, I understand. And he goes, although this is our realm where we come from. I have spent so many long years in the Fey realm, and I miss that place as well. But there is great beauty in this realm as well. And I wish to experience some of it too. So roll on the random encounter table.
Percentile?
Oh, wait, first roll a 20-sided die. Sorry.
19.
Okay. You know what? You don't get a random encounter, but do you want one?
I do.
Okay. Just roll on the random encounter table.
88.
88. Okay. All right. As you're walking, as you and Ibernell are walking through the city, you see that again. You hear a noise, and you see that there's people that are cheering. They're like, "Hooray!" And you see that there's like there's all of a sudden you see there's like a bunch of papers flying up in the air, almost like they're like squares of papers, and you see that on the papers there's something that's drawn on each of the papers, and you see that there are gnomes that are there, and they're working on another different kind of machine. And you see that they're burning some wood, and it's creating all this thing, and all of a sudden there's like this huge kind of roller that's rolling, and you see it's spitting papers out, and you see that they're handing out pictures to everyone, and the pictures are they are identical, and you see that there's also words on it.
Okay, what does it say?
And they're in the common. You see they're in the common language.
Okay.
And you see that it's called the Cornith Caller. It says right across the top, and there's a picture. There's like a woodcut picture of a werewolf, and you see it says werewolves defeated. Here, Guardians of the Gate, victorious once more. And you see that their people are standing around. Some of the other people are like, "Hey, what's this say? I can't read." And you see there's other people that says, "Shut up, stupid. It says the Guardians of the Gate were victorious once more. The werewolf is dead." And you're like, "I didn't know there was a werewolf."
I kind of look at Ibernell and I was like, shall we depart this place? I don't want to be recognized.
All right. And he says, yes. He goes, but look at this. And he goes, so many exact duplicates of the same piece of paper.
I say that the gnomes are amazing inventors, and the way their minds think and tinker is something to truly behold.
He says, there are no gnomes in the Fey realm, you know.
I did not realize that.
And he goes, no. And he goes, the gnomes in this realm do this through magic?
I think it's partly a practical application of, and I kind of look at the machine. Can I tell how the machine is working just by looking at it?
Give me a perception score.
We're engineers, man.
16.
16?
Yeah.
All right. You get it. You see that there are these brushes that are going across, and there's kind of ink that's spilling across the brushes, and it's rolling, and there's the roller actually has the woodcut in reverse.
Okay.
And it's printing the pieces of paper. And then there's another thing, and it's going through, and it's feeding into something else that's cutting it into pieces.
So I kind of point out what I see, and I'm speaking Elvish, still, and I kind of point out what I see with the brushes and the ink and the roller and the cutter and the wood block. I say, so I said it's ingenious if you think about it. So they make one wood block, and then they can print as many of the parchments as they're able to.
And he says, "Can you imagine if they could print magic books, books of magic like this?"
Oh, I don't know that we would want to disseminate that much magic into the world. But
He
I
says,
said,
he says, or just news of the world. He
yeah,
goes, with this, everyone across the realm could receive the same story without deception or deterioration of the truth.
I say that is true. But one would also caution that in the wrong hands, the truth could be distorted and deception intensified.
Yes, this is true. He goes, we shall we should tell the others of this invention and its potential for good and for ill.
I think it would be good for the queen to have an audience with the head of the Tinkers Guild. There is a Tinkers Guild, is there not?
There is not,
Okay. With the head of the
but
gnome.
there should be.
Yeah.
I mean, the gnomes have come here to stay pretty much. Maybe not a bad suggestion to make.
Yeah. I say, if the gnomes are making Cornith their home, they could possibly then have offshoots in the different kingdoms to be able to disseminate information.
Indeed, indeed. He goes, well, and you see he grabs like a stack of the papers, and he goes, I need to tell the queen about this too.
Okay. Then let us return to the castle.
All right. I'll come back to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Samdal, you're next.
Yeah.
Well, how do you spend your day?
Um, I'm basically just gonna walk around the castle and check in on everybody. Check in on my uh, is what's her name back to work already or no?
Who? What's her name?
My first, my
Delia.
second.
Cecilia.
Yeah.
She's actually back. Yeah.
Okay, so she's taking care of shit, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, she's there.
All right,
If you,
I'm just
wanted
checking.
to,
Yeah, I'm just checking up on people, making sure they're doing their job. Everything is ready for tonight. Where am I supposed to be? Am I supposed to be here at the castle?
you can be anywhere you want.
No,
You can
where's the
go-
big piece, though?
It's in the garden. The dedication of the statue is in the garden.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna make my way there eventually then.
Okay. So, is there anything in particular that you wanted to talk with Cecilia about, or any of the guards? Um, is there anything that you were curious to know about, or are you going to talk to the queen or anybody else?
I don't think so. I said my piece last night with the queen, so
Okay. What about
uh,
Christopher?
I will give him a quick lesson today if he wants one.
Okay. So, yeah, he definitely, he's always ready for a fighting lesson.
Okay.
Cecilia, do you want to role play it, or do you want to fast forward through it?
Yeah, just fast forward.
Okay. So Cecilia is back to 100%, but she does want to know your plans. Um, because she says there's talk that there's trouble in the South. Specifically, she's concerned about, the rise of Parth in power. And she's concerned that there will be conflict brewing with the South. What do you plan to do about it? Are you planning to stay in the city, or are you planning to go back out into the wild? She
Um,
basically just comes out and says, "Are you leaving the city?"
yeah, I say yeah. I have a mission.
I have a suggestion, real quick. I think instead of going like immediately after the festival, like we should let the Parth people go home and leave like a few days later. Plus, like since we've all been back here, we've been like just nonstop battling. So I think a few days wait and let them skedaddle and not really know that we're coming right behind them would be a good move for us.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know, with your ship, we could probably outrun them.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about them getting too far. Like we're not chasing them, but I don't
No.
want them to know we're leaving too. You know, so we at least I think we should at least wait till they leave before we leave.
Yeah, yeah. All right. I tell her everything basically. I tell her what we think about Parth and what's going on and all the bad business that was going on with the children.
So you basically bring her completely up to speed from the time she was kidnapped on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
You
then I
can
tell
let her know how hard we looked for her too. She'll probably appreciate that.
her that that doesn't sound like me very much.
Well,
then
you can say we didn't forget about you.
Tell her that I have to go down south to take care of some business. Me and everyone else, the group, the clique.
Me and Bobby McGee.
Well, obviously she's curious to know who you plan to leave in charge.
Well, duh.
You, of course.
She says, well, I assume nothing. After I embarrassed the city watch by being captured so easily.
It was a little embarrassing, but I trust you.
You're such a dick.
He says, thank you. And I will continue with the prince's practice. Make
Oh.
sure that his education continues after you're gone.
Good. Some other time I gotta tell you about all the Pelor shit that went on. It was crazy.
He says, I have heard some of it. And if I'm being 100% honest, I'm not surprised. Having been a former paladin of Pelor.
She walks away from me.
No, hold on a second. I'm sorry. I grabbed the wrong book. Oh, there it is. Okay. She says, having been a former paladin of Pelor, it does not overly surprise me.
Yeah, it was.
She says their faith is blind, and it makes them vulnerable.
Stupid.
Yeah, and they lost their top paladin too.
Yes. Well, I'm sure others will be called.
Yeah, I'm sure. It wasn't my fault this time, by the way.
She doesn't know the first time was your fault either.
Whoop.
I just saying this time it wasn't my fault.
Okay. All right. So you spend time with Christopher, you spend time with Cecilia. Did you ever tell Penn that you want her to come with you?
No.
No, I don't think I want Penn to come with us.
Yeah. Penn has to come with us, according to what's her name?
Mud.
Or Mud, that's right. Not I was thinking
Oh,
Rosamund.
shit. All right, then I'll go tell her that too.
It was so
All
hard
right.
not to respond. I was like,
So
Here is me or my former me.
yeah.
so you also tell Penn, you see that Penn's not, for some reason, not at all surprised. And she's like, I love my job here, but I'll come with you. Of course. She goes, I've already picked out someone to take my place as master of the keys, but I'm not giving up my key. I'm
No.
keeping it.
I want you to bring that with.
She goes, he can have all the other keys, but this one is mine.
Uh,
She says, by the way, I wanted to ask you, how long do we have to keep these gnomes here? They're very, very demanding.
What do you mean?
The gnomes, the ones that the queen has asked us to treat with great hospitality.
Oh, that's right. The queen is keeping him fucking imprisoned.
Uh, I guess that's not up to me.
She says, well, you know, they're taking up almost an entire floor now.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me.
we're gonna have to move you to the basement.
I think the queen said to let him go. So why don't you let him go?
And she says, did she said that they can go free?
I think so. You just
She said they were here for their own protection.
yeah, I know, but that's over now. They're good.
Okay, very well then.
Keep an eye on them until those Parth people leave.
I'll go talk to him.
I think
Okay.
that's why she locked them up.
No, she locked them up so they wouldn't make more dragon's breath.
Yep.
Yeah, but she did it when the people from Parth were coming because she didn't want her enemies to have access to them.
She is a racist.
She is.
She's a racist and she wants to be the only one in power. She's
The
the only
queen?
one that wants, yeah, she's the only one that wants to have the toys.
Sorry, I don't agree with that take there. That was a security measure.
Racist.
All right. So you go to see the gnomes?
Yeah.
All right. You see Poppy and Thorpe are there. They look like they're perfectly happy, but you see what they're doing. You see that there are barrels and barrels of apples all over. They're in like one of the top floors of the prison.
Which is what they use to make dragon's breath.
What are you guys doing?
And they're like, oh, Sundal, I feel like it's been an age since we've seen you.
Been a little busy.
Oh, mama.
And he's like, oh, we've been busy too.
I see
And
that. What are you guys doing?
And he goes, why? We're making dragon's breath. We thought that's what you wanted.
Under whose order?
Why, we thought your order. That's why you set us up with this fancy laboratory.
All right. Got any right now?
How much do you need?
I don't know. 20 pellets?
20 canisters?
Yeah.
Oh, what are you blowing up?
Got a new mission. Gonna leave soon.
And he's like, okay, well, here you go.
If it was that easy, you should get 40.
You see, he goes into a box. You see that he's like, now be careful with these. And he goes, that the kind made from apple gas is a little more volatile. So try not to knock them around too much.
Don't you have like that bandolier thing where they have
Yeah.
like the little...
Yeah, it separates them, but that doesn't hold all of them. So
And he's like, these are packed in sawdust. Try not to jostle them around too much.
okay.
Or they,
So that means the queen is stockpiling dragon's breath. So she lied to my face.
yep,
Might have been Ethor.
nope.
Why would they use my name though? Why wouldn't Ethor just say the queen wants this done?
Well, you don't know. I mean, the queen could have just said, I want it done. And they still would have done it.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
they're just making an assumption.
Or somebody else said it was you.
I say, are you happy here? Are you fine?
Oh, we're perfectly comfortable. That warden of yours seems irritable. She says she needs the space back, that we take up too much room, and that she's going to have a whole lot more prisoners coming in. But this is probably the safest place for us to conduct our experiments.
Okay.
It's actually true.
coming-
'Cause if it
I was
blows
coming
up-
here to let you go, but if you don't want to leave,
He says, "Do you want to see our newest experiment?"
yes.
And he goes, there's only 3 of these, so not quite ready yet. But look at this." And he holds out another vial.
And that is
He goes, "White dragon's breath." It shoots ice, a cloud of ice.
Gimme.
That's kind of cool.
and how many can I take?
And he goes, "Oh, we've only got these 3. I wouldn't suggest, and it's quite dangerous. The problem with this is the blowback. If you shoot it into the wind, you could get caught in the cloud, and then you yourself would end up frozen.
What if I'm inside?
Well, then everybody's frozen. You too."
Why, if there's no wind?
And he goes, "Then the cloud would fill the room."
I think you need to work on this a little more.
Well, that's why I said you can't have it yet.
All right, let's go with acid dragon's breath. Ice.
Black dragon's breath.
Yeah. I think that
Goes-
would be pretty easy.
He goes, "Interesting idea. I wonder how we could do the mechanics of the launcher without it disintegrating." He goes, "Poppy, we have a new challenge. Black dragon's breath." And she's like, "Oh no."
I said, yeah, that would definitely come in handy, especially against armor.
He says, "I'll get on it."
That's cool.
Hey,
And he's like, "Take one white dragon's breath,
okay, I'll tell you how.
just in case."
You know what I'll do? I'll make sure that my enemies are downwind.
He says, I can't guarantee it won't kill everyone."
Well,
Eh,
I take
That's my-
chances like that.
That's
all
my
the time.
forte.
That's
Is
kind
killing
of,
everyone.
kind of my thing.
All right. So you kind of just spend the rest of the day wandering around.
Yeah,
All right.
Oh,
So-
damn it.
I tell Penn to be ready in a few days.
Do you want to roll for a random encounter?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
12.
12.
You're pregnant.
Okay.
I run into 30 hookers.
Hello.
As you're walking through the city on your way down to the garden, there's all these like musicians and performers, there's jugglers and acrobats. It's kind of crazy, actually. It's even more crazy than the previous 4 nights or 3 nights of the celebration. This is really like a loud, raucous thing. There's
Okay.
people cheering everywhere. Everybody's having a great time. It's different from some of the other nights of the year closing because people are celebrating and having fun, and watching performances that have nothing to do with drinking, and like they're just having fun. They're not feasting and overindulging. This one is just about like seeing wondrous things.
Okay.
Okay. As you're walking along, you hear a noise. You hear, hey, you.
I get a hey you.
Yeah.
All right, I turn around.
All right. You turn around. And you see there's a bunch of people around, not from the direction where the voice came from. All you see standing there is a horse. And he's like in a pen.
All right, I keep looking around.
You understand horse, though.
I said, you there.
Sorry. I was looking for a human.
No. I know who you are. By face and reputation.
Really?
Yes,
I didn't know I had a reputation amongst horses.
Is that good?
not most horses, but I'm not most horses.
Uh-oh.
Who are you?
He goes, my name is Titus.
Well, I am Samdal.
I know who you are.
Damn.
You look like a good sturdy horse.
I am. I need you to free me from this place. My skills and abilities are wasted here. And he goes, I wish to serve once again. I once served in the king's army. I wish to serve again.
I think you'd be better suited to just serve me, though.
I would not be opposed to that. As long as you are a kind master and do not
You
treat my
had like an Aragorn horse. Get the F out of here. You just stumbled into a gold mine.
he says, as long as you
Jealous.
as long as you treat me and my brothers well. I know you have the means.
How many brothers are we talking?
37.
This horse knows a little too much about me.
Yeah, right?
Stalker
Oh,
alert.
you remember those awesome horses we had that had a whole life story?
Yeah,
That-
before I missed those horses.
Yeah, they had names and
that was
everything.
like a special.
Wait,
breed
what
of
killed them? I
horse.
forgot. What got them?
The Mad Mage.
The Mad
Oh,
Mage.
yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were somewhere in that fucking desert.
They were in the garden, and he killed them when he poisoned the pantry.
You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. Okay. I say who?
No, you know what? I'm sorry. His name is not Titus. I'm sorry. His name is Gaius.
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 Yeah, I'll remember that for sure.
Oh, be writing it down.
You're gonna put it in your notes, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm writing it down right now as we speak.
It's spelled Gaius. Gaius.
You know what? I know TJ's writing it down, so.
I'll still say it wrong though.
Yeah.
Should be like, what's that horse? Guy Fieri.
I would call him Guess. Thank you very much. Hey, so Guess the horse, you know?
That's the horse. I say who is your
Mr.
owner,
Guess.
and how many brothers do you have?
He says. He says. There are 8 of us.
That'll work.
And he goes. Although they are good and loyal, they are not as smart as I am.
Yeah.
But they deserve a better life than this.
Who is your owner?
And he goes, he's that cruel looking half orc animal.
Wow. All right. What's his name? Do you know?
The half orc?
Yeah. Is it Gaius?
No, it's
Frank.
Titus.
Is it Titus?
No. His name is. Hold on a second. I'm gonna just.
Creepiest.
Beijing Mr. Buttocks. Mr. Harry Buttocks.
His name is Velmer.
Weird. All right. I approach him.
All right. You see, he's a merchant, right? So he's got a bunch of stuff for sale. He's selling chickens and pigs and all kinds of livestock. All right. He is 100% a half orc. He's a big, kind of. He's almost as big as you are.
Okay.
Almost.
All right.
I say, excuse me, Velmer? Velma?
He looks at you and he goes, "Oh, another city watch is just gonna come and give me a hard time now."
No, I'm not the city watch.
And he goes, "I got a merchant's license,
I'm the captain.
And he goes, "Oh, what?
And I'm one of the-
Pardon me, Captain. I sorry about that. I didn't know it was you."
I'm interested in purchasing your horses. I'm taking a trip and I need good, stable steeds.
He goes, "Oh, I've got some of the best, finest war horses." He goes, recovered from the fields of the Battle of Cornus.
Oh, wow. I say, no, I want those ones in the back over there.
And he goes, "Those are them. Those are the ones."
Oh, okay.
And he
How
goes,
much for 9?
For nine steeds?
Mm-hmm.
Mm. And he goes, "Well, I guess I could make you a deal. I'll give them to you for 3,000 gold."
How about how about 25?
Oh, 25. You drive a hard bargain. 2,500?
Yes.
And he says, "Okay, done." He
All right.
holds out his hand.
I shake hands with him.
All right. He gives you one of these like handshakes, like the wrist handshake,
Okay.
which you know is like a traditional orc thing.
Okay.
Cool.
Either that or he thinks I have cooties.
I don't have an answer.
He goes, "Okay, well, take them if you want them."
All right. Hey, here's 1,000 gold right now.
And he goes, "Ah, do you have 1,000 gold with you?"
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
It's in my bag of holding.
Okay. And he goes, I'm sure all I have to do is tell the queen that you still owe me another 1,500, right?
You don't have to tell anybody. I'll be back.
All right. Okay. And he goes, hey, you over here. You see, there's this little girl that's there. And she's like dirty and she's kind of dressed in rags. You see, he's like, "Hey, what are you doing? Get over here." I said, "Get over here." And he grabs her by the back of the neck. And he like throws her. He goes, "Tie up those horses. I tie the horses together. Captain just bought them. Get them ready now." You see, he kind of kicks her as she walks by.
I say, how much for the little girl?
What?
I
Oh,
need
oh,
someone to
sorry.
take care of-
Slavery is not legal in Cornith. I don't sell little girls.
Oh, so she could just come with me and work in the garden?
No. She works for me.
How much for her to work in the garden?
I promised her parents I would watch over her
I
as they.
bought her. He started to say, "Did you catch that?"
Okay. How much?
What?
I
said-
I need a new worker. That's all.
I don't sell people. I don't
I
do
want
that.
to purchase her services.
Hold on a second. I want to see if he thinks that this is a trap. What's your charisma?
12.
But my strength is 18, so I have a feeling my knuckles have really good charisma.
All right.
I noticed you're almost as big as me.
What's that?
I said, I noticed you're almost as big as me.
And he goes, "Well, I mean, I kind of need her to work for me. It'd be a major inconvenience for me to replace her. You understand that? But I could let her go for 5,000 gold pieces."
Selling her.
I said,
Now you
no,
can
that's
arrest him.
it. You're under arrest for trying to sell a child.
What?
I'm
No, I
taking
wasn't.
her
I
as
was
evidence right now.
no, I wasn't doing that.
Now you got all your gold back and horses and a kid. And that's how you bargain at a bar.
Do you really say that?
Yeah. No, I really say that.
He says, no, I wasn't selling. I just was saying, you know, she's under contract.
I lean in close to him. I say, tell me, where did you get her?
He says, I did tell you.
Was it anyone from that place that I can't remember that I'm going to soon?
Arth,
Arth?
Roll an intimidation. It's your
What kind
charisma.
of bonus do I get on that?
It's your charisma plus 30.
Okay. 30 flat.
30. All right. You see, he goes, no, I did not get her from Parth. He goes, look. I'll be honest, okay? I don't want trouble. The reality is, I rescued her. She was taken by the orcs. I rescued her and liberated her into my service.
So you kidnapped her.
No. I rescued her. Her parents are dead. That part was true. They are dead.
She's
And
very happy to be with you. You're not holding her against her will.
No. He goes, Karina, come here, little
Why does that
girl,
name sound
come here.
super familiar? Hold on. Why does that name sound super familiar?
Karina.
He goes, Karina, come here, quick.
That's Cassera.
Oh,
She's like, walks up and she goes, she just she looks miserable.
yeah.
And he goes,
Are
hey,
you up? Are you happy with this man? Do you want to stay with him or do you want to come with me?
All right, you see, she looks at him. And
You can tell me the truth.
She looks at you. Make a charisma roll.
It'd be like, if you come with me, you'll never come back here again.
Oh God, 29. I made 2 charisma rolls in a row.
All right. You see, she goes, are you mean?
No, I am the captain of the guards. I protect people here.
And she goes, I want to go with you then.
All right, Valelius. I'll be back with the rest of the money.
Okay, Uvula.
And he goes, and the 5,000 for the contract?
No,
No.
that's so you don't get arrested.
She's like, "Rrr." All right. You see, he walks away.
Okay.
He's like cursing.
Take that.
All right.
Why didn't you kill him? You had every opportunity to kill him.
I can't just flat out kill somebody. He didn't do anything other than maybe kidnap a child, but
Anything else?
Just treat her in front of you. You could at least threaten him a little bit. Come on.
No, it's been him.
all right. I
But Brian, what's your alignment? I don't even know.
Chaotic
good?
Chaotic neutral.
Chaotic.
Loser.
Okay. Chaotic good.
He did the chaotic
Okay.
thing there.
Yeah, okay.
all right.
All
I
right.
said, this is Gaius. You're gonna ride on him back to the garden?
She's like, you've named him already?
No, he told me his name.
He told you his name?
Yeah, he speaks to me.
The horse speaks to you? You can speak to the horse?
Yes. I say, you don't mind her riding on your back, do you?
What are you
He's like, she weighs nothing. I am strong.
Okay, can you tell the others to just follow you so we don't have to hold them all together?
He's like, I know the way to the garden.
All right, let's go.
And he goes, brothers, this way. Stay close together. Just like the old days. Keep close ranks. Don't get separated.
I say, hey, are you a heavy armored warhorse?
And he goes, I have no armor, but I am a warhorse.
What if I get some made for you?
And he goes, I can wear armor.
Okay.
I am not as fast when I wear the armor though.
We have horses again.
Are you hungry?
I could eat. This
All right.
man practically starved us.
I said, all right, Karina. We'll be there soon. You can get some food and some clothes and maybe take a bath.
Please.
She goes, thank you, Mr. Captain.
My name's Samdal.
Thank you, Mr. Captain Samdal.
Have her ask for Burke when she gets to the
I'm
garden.
going to turn you into the best fighter there has ever been.
Princess
Oh.
Jelly.
better than Christopher?
He's a leader. This girl's going to be a killer.
Ah,
Ooh.
all right. Okay. So, Ember,
Yes.
what would you like to do with your time? Do you want to fast forward through it? And do you want to do a random encounter? I guess first just how do you want to spend your time?
So I want to talk to Reza and Harper about and the queen about establishing a thieves guild in the city with her permission that I would back but not be the face of. I would want Reza to be the face of it. And yeah, it has to be sanctioned so that it can be on
Corneth grounds.
what's it called? Like
The High Council?
the High Council. Yeah, no, if they're an accepted guild, then they can be on the High Council.
They're not thieving in.
And I actually had this conversation with Keith earlier because he's like, oh, they might be at odds with like some of the other lords or whatever. And I'm like, well, their interests shouldn't be any more important than any other guild's interests because I think we see what happens when they only give a shit about themselves, like how they didn't care about the poor people at all. And they were upset about Elsha giving away food, and then look what happened at the temple. So like that's going to kind of be the argument I make with the queen about like why there should be a thieves guild, and it would provide balance in the city and also help keep a check on like any sort of low level thieves in the city.
So do you talk to Reza and Harper and the queen all together?
No, I want to get her permission first.
Okay.
And that's going to be what I'm going to say. And then when I have her permission, I want to talk to them about what I want them to do. And like Harper, I don't really want thieving. I know she more likes to kind of sneak around and get information.
Okay.
And I want to make that clear to the queen because I don't want her like treating Harper like she shouldn't associate with Christian or like, you know what I mean? So I want to make that
Yeah, she's
clear.
not a
Like,
thief, she's a
Harper's looking
spy.
out for my interests.
Christopher.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I want to like
TJ's like, see, you got a name wrong.
That was so funny.
All right.
Yeah,
That's
you
awesome.
can do
I
it.
can't wait to edit this.
Yeah.
You did do it.
Shazam!
All right. So the queen, the queen will agree to a thieves guild, but she wants to meet Reza before
Okay.
she officially sanctions this, and she wants assurances from you that if the thieves guild that the thieves guild will follow a very specific set of rules that will determine what sanctioned thieving and licensed thieving looks like versus just wild chaos on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
So she sees the opportunity. The queen sees the opportunity for it to be a way to allow for some degree of
Oversight.
unpredictability, right? Because that's human nature. She kind of understands people are going to do these things,
Mm-hmm.
but we need to keep it under control. And there obviously aren't enough City Watch to capture every thief that's running around. But if they're doing it with being sanctioned by the crown, that's a whole different thing.
Okay.
So she agrees, but she does not agree to have Reza in charge of it unless she meets him and then can agree.
Well,
to it.
and Harper would also be like a safety net, not like a visible member.
A 14-year-old girl.
She's 15.
She's not 15 yet.
She doesn't know that, but she doesn't even know her age. She's a young woman as far as
She's a young woman.
She's also mad at her because she was seen with Christopher. So
Yeah, she's like, you keep
She's
your
the one that
dog
took
away
her to
from
the
my boy.
source. Yeah. But
Damn.
she will agree to it.
all right.
So do you want to have your conversation with Reza and Harper then? Okay.
And then other things I want to do today is also like swing by the Victory Jewel and check in with Bert and let him know that we'll be preparing to travel in the coming week after the festival ends. So if he could just start quietly making sure that the ship is staffed up, because I don't want to make it like known that we're
Okay.
leaving yet.
We'll leave in the middle of the night.
Okay. So Reza's big concern is why you just don't do it yourself. He's like, "Hey, look, I'm flattered." Wait, first, where are you having this conversation? Are you having it at Downey Tower? Because he hangs out at the Singing Sword. That's where.
I mean, I can have it with him there if we can speak privately. That's
Yeah,
fine.
well, you remember there's a private room in the back.
Yeah, so we can go in there and talk. That's fine.
Okay, and Harper's actually with him, so
Yeah.
you can talk to both of them at the same time.
Convenient.
So Reza says, "Look, I'm flattered, but I just I don't know why would you trust me with this? You barely know me, and why not just do it yourself?"
And I'm like, well, I can't do it myself because I have this hero reputation and also my sister's reputation. And I'm like, so I would have to be behind the scenes. And I'm like, but it's something that I think is necessary. And I think we see what happens when the city is unchecked in that way. And it would ease my mind. I'm like, that's the big reason why now. And I'm like, there are too many times when I'm called away from the city anyway.
And you see Harper says,
I'm like, do you really think I mean, I haven't known you for long, but I wouldn't say I barely know you. And I'm like, we have a lot more in common than you think. And I'm like, I'm like, my life has been brutal up to this point. I'm like, I was kidnapped by a pirate when I was a baby. I grew up basically a slave. My mother was a hag that tried to kill me.
A lot.
I'm like, I've been through some awful, awful things. I understand why you wanted to leave the place you left.
"Make a charisma check." What is your charisma?
My charisma is 14.
All right. It's 14 plus 40.
I was gonna say, because I rolled a 49. I don't know if I made it, but I guess I did.
Yep. Okay. You see, he says, "Fine, I'll do it.
And I'm
At
like,
least for-
besides, this will keep you from getting in trouble doing what you love.
Harper says, "Come on, Reza. You know that you're not a fighter, you're a leader. Whether you like it or not, you're a charming guy. That's what you do. You can do this. And if you screw up, I'll be there to tell you you're screwing up." And he's like, "Oh, well, now I feel a lot better." He's like, "You've already
Put her in
convinced."
charge.
He goes, you've already convinced yourself I'm going to screw up." She goes, "No, I said if." And she goes, "And what about me? What do you want me to do?"
And I'm like, I said, you have an important job too. And I say, you are a collector of information, and that is more valuable than anything to the queen, to us, and to the safety of the city. And I'm like, and I think that's another way that we can parlay the value of our guild. And I'm like, we're not just, I'm like, obviously, if the guild is made up of some petty thieves, they're going to want to take things. And I'm like, but secrets, information, and I'm like, oh, that has bottomless value.
She says,
She
says, I'm not gonna lie, I wish part of me wants to go with you when you go south, but part of me wants nothing to do with it. I'm
I'm like, I
I'm
understand that a part of me wants
I'm
nothing to do with
I'm
it.
not afraid, you know, and you just make sure I'm not afraid. I'm just I feel like I feel like I'm needed here.
I say you are. And I'm like, Elsha, although she has a kind heart, I don't know that she always catches the dangers that can unfold politically around her. I don't think she even realized the position that she was in when we got here.
And you so you see Reza goes, okay, so great. I'm the face, she's the brains. And he goes,
And I'm the bank.
and you're the bank. I like it. All right, we have a deal.
Shake.
He puts his hand in and he looks over at Harper and he goes, come on, kid, get your hand in here.
All right. And I'm like, I took the liberty of setting up an account for you at the bank.
He goes, oh, I'm liking this more and more.
I'm like,
And he goes,
and you have to meet the queen.
he
You get
goes,
a company
oh,
wagon.
I'm gonna go to Vapula's Floating City. There's this little casino that I know of that's just the right place for we can triple our money within 24 hours. I
I'm
promise.
like, you can't gamble away our money, but you can gamble away your money.
All right. How much am I getting paid?
And I don't know. Let me just, some reasonable number.
All right.
Um,
he's like, you know, I think I'm gonna be all right.
And I'm like, did you hear me say you have to meet the queen first?
Oh, I've got no problem with that.
And I'm like, all right.
I hear she's available.
What is he like, Joey from Friends?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Yeah, a little
That's
bit.
kind of how I picture this guy.
Yeah.
I didn't even watch the show, and I'm like, this guy's Joey.
All right.
I do want to go to like the floating city. That would be fun to just like play games there or something too. But I do we
Well,
have to like role play the meeting with the queen, or can we just
No, we can fast forward past it.
Okay.
It's successful.
Okay.
Okay. So after that, do you go down? Are you going down? It's getting late now.
Uh-huh.
Do you go to the garden? Or are you going to the Vapula's floating
Well, I want
city?
to go to the floating city.
All right.
Yeah.
So you go to the floating city for a little while. You see that, oh, you have to go down there anyway to talk to
Bert.
Bert. Yeah. So you go down to the docks. Bert meets you down there. They take you on a skiff to the floating city. We'll do this fast forward though, okay?
Yeah, I don't need to play through all of it. I just, unless there's a random encounter, then.
Reza and Harper go with you, by the way.
Mhm.
Okay. So you, Bert, and Reza spend some time on Vapula's floating city during the day as well.
Okay.
But then the day starts to wrap up and it's time for you to go back to the garden.
Okay, I go back to the garden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give
I
me
haven't been in any battles, so I don't need to wash any blood off me for the.
are you wearing your armor? Remember, Samdal's actually not wearing armor because
Yeah,
he's still
no, I
getting his
wasn't
armor
either.
repaired.
I was dressed in
Yeah.
clothes. Remember, everybody said
Yeah.
I looked weird.
Yeah, that's right. Roll a percentile die.
54.
You lose 41 gold pieces
That's not bad.
gambling, but not terrible. Just nothing. Okay. So
barrels of the shit.
you go back to the towards the garden. Give me a 20-sided die.
8.
Okay. Give me a percentile die.
46.
Roll again.
34.
No, sorry. Roll one more time. Yeah, I'm not going to repeat the ice cream machine.
84.
Okay. As you're making your way back through the city, you see that there's, again, there's all these like festivities and, activities and things like that are going on. You see that there are performers, and you see that there are tents that are set up, just merchant tents set up everywhere. And something catches your eye. You see that there is a man who has like an eye patch over one eye. He's dressed in bright red robes, and you see he's got all these brightly colored bottles. Some of them are like big jugs that are like carafes that are hanging from the top of his tent. It's like an open-ended tent, like a merchant's tent. And he's got snake skins hanging there, and he's got all these other things. Some of them have like smoke coming out of them. And you see he's just like, potions for sale. Who wants to buy a potion? All my potions are guaranteed to work, 100% guaranteed to work potions.
And I'm like,
And he goes,
you make your own potions?
I make all my own potions. I'm a genuine alchemist. What are you looking for, Missy? You looking for love? You want to charm the love of your life? Here is a love potion guaranteed to work. 100%. It will make you what? It'll make whoever you want to fall in love with you 100% guaranteed.
And I'm like, how about something to make someone tell the truth?
Oh, this will make it tell the truth. They will love you so much they will tell you anything.
That
I'm
sounds.
like, do you have anything besides a love potion?
Oh, I've got lots of other potions. What are you looking for? Here he goes. This potion will make you light as a feather. You can fall from any height, and you will fall gently to the ground like a leaf on the wind. Doesn't that sound amazing? You could jump from the highest tower in Cornith. You could jump from the top of the castle. This would be an amazing gift for you.
And I'm like, well, I certainly wouldn't be able to come for a refund if it didn't work.
And he goes, oh, you're a funny lady. Oh, he goes, here, just buy this potion. It'll only cost you, for you 300 gold pieces.
Do I believe this guy?
You tell me. This is not a perception check. Sorry.
I look at Harper. I need.
Harper's,
Where's your Thieves Guild backing you up?
Harper's just like,
I'm like, what else do you have? I'm like, I don't fall often.
And he goes, oh, so sure-footed are you? And he goes, well, what about this one? This one will make you completely invisible for an entire day. It lasts longer than my guaranteed long-lasting invisibility potion. One whole day, 24 hours of invisibility guaranteed.
It's creepy as shit.
I'm like, you have anything that would make someone fall asleep?
Oh, a sleeping potion. Oh, yes, I've got one of those. I think so. Right over here. Let me go look. You see, he starts going through like one of his bags. And he goes, here it is. I don't use a sleeping potion very often because this one doesn't require anybody to drink it. You just smash it on the ground and everyone in the area falls asleep. Guaranteed 100% sleeping potion.
And I'm like,
He goes, just hold your breath when you smash it. Otherwise, you'll be asleep with everybody else.
And I'm like, what about do you have oil of slipperiness?
He goes, hold on a second. Let me just check.
Hey, look.
He goes, I never heard of it.
Hmm.
That's not a real thing.
Oh, but it is.
Oh, look, if you're gonna waste my time, buy something or get lost.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I'm not wasting your time. It is a real thing.
He goes,
I used to have some.
he goes, you're making fun of me, I can tell.
And I'm like, no, I'm not. I promise you.
He goes, well then, buy my love potion. That's the one you really wanted anyway, isn't it?
It really isn't. And I'm like, how much is the love potion?
Because you're a pretty lady, I'll give it to you for 200 gold pieces.
And I'm like, and what about the sleeping stuff?
The sleeping potion? That one's 500. I'm almost out. And those ingredients are hard to come by. I'm not gonna lie. Those have genuine dragon scale in them, and dragon scales is hard to come by.
Yeah, no
Like-
shit.
True.
No.
And I'm like, I say, I'll take, what if I took both for 650?
Okay, sold.
All right.
And he
I
goes,
pay him.
sleeping potion and the love potion.
Don't get those mixed up.
And I'm like, you really should look into that oil of slipperiness. It really is a real thing.
I've never heard of it. Stop making fun.
And I'm
Why
like,
would anybody want that?
I
Well,
used
why
it
would
in
you want to
that-
be slippery? Every oil is slippery.
and I'm like, no, this was special. And I'm like, you don't know who I am? You might be the first.
And he goes, nah, don't know, don't care.
And I'm like, well, I've used it. It's real.
Give me my gold. Give me.
I already paid him. I said I pay him.
All right, you see, he starts stacking the coins up like he's counting them right there. And he goes, wait. I'm just gonna take a minute. I gotta count my gold here.
God damn it.
He's like, he goes, and 6 and 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay. Okay, 650. You're good. All right.
I'm
Come
like,
again.
What's your name again?
My name is Hal.
Hal?
Hal.
I'm like, where are you from, Hal?
Easy to remember. Hal the alchemist. Hal the alchemist.
Alchemist.
I'm a
From
alchemist.
Kilorgan?
And he goes, how could you tell? Was it my accent?
I think so.
The smell of your spit.
It was the attitude.
All right. All right, so you go to the garden.
I go to the garden.
All right, as you're going to the garden, you see that Samdal is walking along with a bunch of horses that are just walking obediently behind him. There's a little girl sitting on the horse, and then you meet up with Sledge, who's also walking along.
Woo!
Riding a horse.
Kate and Ibernell also appear.
Wow.
I see you have horsed up.
The whole parade.
Yes. I bought new horses for us to travel with. They're war horses, so they should be able to hold more.
They're amazing.
And this is Gaius.
All right, you see the horses like. Okay. All right. Really?
Damn it.
All right.
Name
Tells
8
you.
other horses right now.
Yeah. Bob 2, Bob 3, Bob 4.
And he says,
Yeah, because I
He
weigh
says-
like 300 pounds.
he says, probably Hadar. He's not very smart, but he's strong and fast.
And loyal. Autobots.
All right.
Just name the horses after old characters. This horse is Dengar. This horse is Flynn.
Yeah. After your old characters? Yeah.
You should name a horse Archimedes.
All right. So you guys make your way to the garden
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
where you see that the party is already started. Burke is there playing music, and
Oh, good.
everyone is there, including the queen and the prince.
Nice.
You see all of you see the queen of the elves is there, the king of the dwarves. You see Zig is also there. You see everybody's kind of gathering around by the there's a large curtain that's surrounding kind of the arch that covers the place where the statue to the fallen heroes, the tribute to the fallen heroes is standing. All right.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what?
I said okay.
All right. You see Burke is playing music. Everybody's kind of singing along. People are having fun. You see that there are fireworks going off. You see that the queen walks up to the four of you. Oh, by the way, Mud is also there with Rosie and Leopold as well.
We don't have a stable here, do we?
Yeah, you have a stable.
All right, I take them. I show them the way there.
All right. Do you want Karina to take them, or and just go ahead without you, or do you want to show them?
No, she can take them. Well, does she know where it is?
Oh,
Uh,
she
Can I just
wouldn't
point?
know.
Can I
No,
just point?
but Gaius does.
What the hell? Stalker.
He probably knew Kalika and the other
Okay.
horse.
He's a very smart horse. He's gifted.
All right, I just
Did
let
you
him
say
know.
he's gifted?
Yeah.
That's what he said.
He was in the gifted program.
All right. So,
Queen Monkey.
you see the queen approaches the four of you, and she says, the dwarves, the dwarves are nearly ready for the unveiling. Would any of you like to say some words before we reveal the statue to the crowd?
I think Ember would.
Nothing respectable.
Can someone else give a speech so we don't have to?
She says, "Of course, I can say some words." She says, I hope I do justice to the memory of your friends. If none of you wish to say any words."
Oh, God damn it. He's rubbing it in. One of us should say something.
Oh, fuck yourself.
Don't. Hey, let Mud do it.
We're not like, yeah, well, we didn't, I mean, you didn't say we were going to have to like eulogize our friends. You said you wanted tonight's game to be fun.
All these guys were a lot more fun when they were alive. Thank you.
Oh, let's say it then. I didn't know any of these people. I'm still not really sure who they were.
I'm not still sure who I am. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very theatrical.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The heck? Oh, there we go. What?
Christmas pictures.
Oh, those are from
Dinner
my
party.
holiday party invite.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was going to say, I mean, I probably should say something because I commissioned it, but I don't.
Who's in the right corner there? Who's
What's
in the
that?
right corner? Who's on the right side, the right corner? The
The
bottom.
goblin?
It's a goblin.
It's
So
one of
I
the.
No.
wanted the statue to represent everybody that stood together for Cornith and also remember our friends that fell. So that's what I say.
Okay, well, the
Yeah.
Dwarf King, he didn't die in that battle. He died before. So he didn't
He
count.
fell as part of like it was he fell as part of like the lead up to that war. It was all like
No, chip him out.
mad mage.
Chip him out. He died. He died. The Tarrasque killed him.
No.
Mm-hmm.
He died.
Yeah. Yeah, we rolled and everything. It was really terrifying.
The dwarven city.
Corbin.
Yep.
All right, whatever. He can stay then.
And I mean, yeah, I mean, even with all the horrible things that they went through, they still like stood with us.
And who's head in front?
That's Oswin.
That's Oswin.
Why is he up there?
Oh,
Why is he up there?
no, it's Oswin, Cal, the Candle Queen, Blake, and I
Yid.
I
Yid.
don't know. Huh?
His name is Yid. Yid.
Who?
The goblin's name
Like a
is
goblin
Yid.
captain.
Yeah, but the dwarf is Bowtruckle or something, right?
Blake.
Blake. Drake Buckle.
Close.
Blow truckle.
Well, that's what I say. All right.
All right.
I'm not going to write a whole speech, but that's what I say.
Hey, T,
All
I
right.
never give you a hard time because I don't write shit down, so it doesn't.
All right. So you see the crowd goes silent. And you see that the curtain falls. And you see that the statue stands there. And you see that the crowd begin to applaud.
Brian.
And then the queen says, Ember would like to say just a few words, and maybe some of the other guardians of the gate wish to say some words as well.
All right.
Which of you would like to go first?
Ember.
All right. No, I'm fine. I'm not going to give a speech. I told you what I said.
No,
I think
you got to
are-
say it. Say it. Role playing points.
You said fun. A eulogy is not fun.
It doesn't have to be a
It is if
eulogy.
you're drunk.
It is though. So I thank the dwarves for creating this beautiful symbol of unity and remembrance. And the people on this statue, Oswin, Thacker, I point, Cal Black Dove, Yid, the Goblin Captain, right, Captain?
Mhm.
The Elven Candle Queen, and Drake Buckle, the king of the dwarves. I'm like all stood together to defend this city and defend freedom. And I want us always to remember that being united is what saved us. And that's it.
Right? Everybody's like, hey, hey.
Hey.
Kate.
Go on, Kate.
Yeah.
Everybody is cheers. Hooray! You see some fireworks are going off.
All right.
Would
get
any
up.
of you would any of you like to say anyone else like to say anything?
I get up. and
Okay.
I say, I wasn't really paying attention when Kate Ember was speaking, so I hope I don't repeat. But I knew these people well, and now they're dead, and I'm alive. Thank you.
All right, you're everybody's like, that was it.
Sledge claps.
Hi.
All right. You see Zig gets up. And he goes, before goblins were hated, feared.
We still hate you.
He goes, Sundown, you're so funny. And he goes, before goblins were hated, feared, and no respect for goblins. And then Oswin Thacker believed in me, a lowly goblin. He was my friend, and I loved him.
Oh.
And he acted like he hated Zig, but I know he loved me. He took care of Zig, and now Zig is king of the goblins. And you hear the goblins are like, roar! And he goes, and we are fierce, and we stand with Cornith forever, like the dwarves. And he goes, and one day Rangers rise again as well. All right, and he goes, that's all Zig has to say. And you hear the dwarves go, hail Zig, king of the goblins, friend of the dwarves. All right. You see that they all kind of bow down. You see the whole crowd starts to bow down to you guys.
Oh.
All right.
I
And
tell, I tell Sledge to move away.
I'm like, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Not of our adulation.
Actually, I was debating whether I was going to bow too, because I was
We should call Mud up, though.
Well, the Mud's there.
He's staying with us or in front of this.
Yeah, actually, I will step aside for this because I wasn't there for any of these.
Yeah, no, Mud is there. Mud is there.
Okay.
All right. So Sledge,
He's not officially part of the Four Ravens anymore, though.
what are you feeling right now?
Proud that I'm able to fight with these people. I feel closer now.
There you go. All right. So let the festivities continue. And you hear more fireworks going off and the party continues on. All right. So anything else that you guys wanted to do in this day? All right.
Hang around with Elsha.
Get drunk.
Get drunk? You hang around with Elsha? You dance with Zig? Sledge, what are you doing during the party?
I know I can't drink, but I'm going to throw back a few with Sam Dahl.
Okay.
Exactly. But,
Yeah.
I'm going to try to learn about the commiserating.
I'll
right.
drink a little too, but I'm not going to get drunk because I don't want my dagger to try to take over and murder.
You wake up in the morning, everyone's dead, but you feel amazing.
That's right, because it heals you.
Yeah, you'll be like,
I-
damn, I
So
feel
if
great.
you get
Shit.
drunk and stab people with the dagger, you know you don't get it. You don't have a hangover.
I'm not getting drunk.
I invite what's his name? The bard.
Burke.
I invite Burke to come drink with us.
Oh, you see, he's like, really? And he goes, did you know they've got Hilliand ale here?
Yeah, that's why
He's
we're
about to
doing
That's why I
find
want to
out.
get him drinking.
He's about to find out.
All right. You see, he sits down. You guys are watching Kate and dancing with Zig. I mean, everybody's having a good time. You see that the gnomes actually bring their ice cream machine, and you see that they also bring their printing press, and they're printing out invitations to Mud's wedding.
I'm like, oh, I forgot to tell you about the ice machine. There's this stuff in a bowl. It's cold. People were losing their minds. You should try it.
Let's
Yep.
try it.
That is not the response I expected.
Ooh.
They say it is sweet and delicious and gelatinous.
Oh,
I'm not picking good
Gelatinous.
words.
all right.
Burke
wait
is sitting
till-
with you.
I wait till Burke's got about 2 or 3 drinks in him. I keep handing him to him.
All right, he's like, so now I'm gonna have to, I have to play more music later. I don't know if I should be drinking this much.
You know what? I've been with you a long time, and I think you sing better when you drink.
Oh, maybe I just sound better when you drink.
Oh, maybe.
He
I just
goes-
wanted to let you know.
And he goes,
You
"Oh,
have-
come here, kitty!" And the pen is there, and he starts scratching her behind her ears, and she's like,
God.
"Stop! I'm not that kind of cat." Well, she
You're
doesn't
different.
like Burke though.
I'm like, I have to tell you before I get too much in me. You have to come to Parth with us, according to some witches saying that she saw the future, and you got to tell your wife and leave your kids and come adventure with us.
What?
It was Mud that said he needed to come to
It
Parth.
doesn't matter where it came from.
We're to save
You gotta
the
go.
children, hopefully.
He's
I mean, we
what?
need him.
We
We don't know why, but we know we need him.
Well, you probably will see you
But
on
you're
the
there. You're
yeah,
there.
so I say we need
Yeah.
you. We don't know why, but we need you. And I mean, I have an idea of being in a strange place where we don't know anyone or have any allies, that you probably have the exact kind of skills that we're going to need to survive there.
Yeah.
I mean, we're about to have another child. How'd you? I mean,
Yeah, you're gonna get in a lot of trouble.
my adventuring days are behind me.
It was a prophecy. Do you know what that means? Prophecy.
And I'm
Wait,
like,
and it said me specifically.
Yeah, it said my best friend has to come with.
Your best friend.
his face. Wait, well, let him finish reacting to that before you say anything else. He's only stopped talking because we all laughed.
He says, "Is this is? I assume this is incredibly dangerous
Incredibly.
adventure."
Yes, very dangerous.
Oh
He
yeah,
goes, where in the south are we going exactly?
really south.
It's Parth and then also beyond Parth. I can't remember the name of the place.
The salt marsh.
The what?
The salt marsh.
The salt marsh is beyond there.
Bring potatoes for the salt marsh.
And I'm like, besides the children there's also, I'm like, did he meet Fizman? And I'm like, do you remember?
Yeah, he met Fesman.
I'm
He was
like,
there.
he's also being held prisoner, and they're using his magic to do whatever it is that they're trying to do. And I'm like, we have to stop them. And there are many, many citizens and children of Cornith being kept there as slaves.
There, he goes, I, all right, I'm in. I'll do it.
Okay.
I
And he
say,
goes,
but, but,
Right.
no song about this. No one else must know other than Object. No songs
I understand.
until maybe afterwards, and then you can sing.
If you live.
I understand.
Because my friend Sledge here is coming, and he is got nothing in him, but he has a
He has a what?
And this liquor.
soul. So he has a soul,
Oh,
but no flesh.
And
Nothing in
liquor.
him. Liquor. Boom, boom.
He says, I have to go talk to Aujit and tell her.
And then
This
Singleton.
will
All right.
this will be very difficult to leave them.
You understand.
But
It's very difficult for me to
You'll-
leave all this behind.
we'll all come back though, right? We'll be okay. We'll be together. So we'll be fine, right?
We'll be the five ravens.
that's the point. I mean, that's the.
Is
That's
Mud
the way
coming?
we
Is Mud coming
succeed.
too?
No, he's got a time dragon now, so he doesn't want to hang out with us.
He says, I understand. Well, what about Harper? Is she going too? He goes, so I'm the only one going?
Well, we're going.
Ben is coming.
Penn, you're going? She's like, of course I'm going. I'm indispensable.
I love her.
See, so you could snuggle with the kitty tonight.
She goes, I'm not snuggling with the bard.
I'm trying to blame myself drinking a little too much.
Okay. All right. You see, he says, okay, well, when do we leave?
Few days.
Right now.
I understand.
Tuesday at 6:30.
No, I should be the one to do it.
Would you like us?
Yeah. Thanks. All right. Well, I'll do what I can.
I hand him another.
I'm there. All right. He's like, yeah, I'm going to need this. All right. So he goes off. Zig continues to dance. You see that there are so many goblins there. They're all dancing around. The night goes on without any other kind of mishap or misadventure. Lots of fireworks, lots of different things, performances. Burke plays another song or two. There's a few. There's quite a few people that are drinking now. Where are you going to go at the end of the night? Are you guys staying here in the garden? Are you going to go back to Downey Tower? Are you going to go to the castle? Are you going to go somewhere else? Are you going to split up? Are you going to stay together?
I mean, Downey Tower is
Um,
pretty trash, but we probably should still stay there.
Well, we can stay at the house in the garden too.
Okay.
My
It's under
armor
repair
and
right
weapons.
now.
My armor and weapons is at the castle, so I'm gonna go back there.
I'll stay
Okay.
at the house in the garden with Elsha and Harper and presumably Reza too, since we're none of us at the tower yet.
Okay.
I'd like to go hang with the gnomes and talk to them about tinkering and stuff like that, and try to learn from their machines.
Okay. So you go back and try to find some of the gnomes.
Yes.
All right.
There's some here.
Because you don't need to sleep, so you can do that.
Yeah, if I don't need to be protecting everybody, then
Yeah.
I tell
All right.
everybody that they could pick a horse as long as it's not Gaius.
I'm like, can you ask them which one is the sturdiest to hold?
Oh, that guy right there.
Oh, okay. His name is Hedar.
Mhm.
I walk over.
Write that down.
Oh my.
All right. All right. You see one of them named Zephyr.
You have good eyes.
Mom just picked last.
What's it called? Hogar?
Yep.
I'm writing down.
No.
Or Hodor.
Hodor. That was it. You know what? It was that episode was like one of the saddest and stupidest at the same time.
But he was saying
Mhm.
hold the door.
Like the reveal was that he was saying hold door. Come on. That
What
was lazy.
I forgot. What
That
was
was
it?
that was
Well,
lazy. That was lazy DMing. No, I know it was in the book.
All right. I actually take my horse back to the castle.
Okay.
I introduced myself to the horse.
All right.
And then yes, I will take it. Well, actually, I'll stay in the garden then if that's where.
Yeah, there are gnomes there.
Okay, yeah. I want to
Right.
but that's what I'll do is I'll hang out with the gnomes and I let the horse, I bring it to food and water and take care of it first.
Okay. Okay. So you guys walk with the elves. You see that elves are actually a little drunk and they are singing elvish songs and it's beautiful as they march through the city. And they're like it's almost operatic as they walk through the city. And the people like silent, the other musicians are silent as you guys pass. Ibernell is singing as well, and you realize that you actually, Kate, have a very good singing voice when you harmonize with the other elves. Oh, they sing the same songs, the same songs over again. So you pick them up pretty quickly. All right. Hold on a second. Okay. Uh, Ember.
Yes.
All right. Elsa is there and she says, she tells you, she goes, I heard that you are leaving soon.
I'm like, sort of soon. I'm like, not like tomorrow, but probably within a week.
She says, well, I can't say that I'm entirely surprised. But you'll come back soon, right?
Yes. I'm like, I'm kind of tired of leaving.
I hope that you find what you're looking for and that you can find rest eventually.
I do too.
You will always have a home here, sister.
I'm like, speaking of the home, sorry about that.
She goes, no, it's worth it if the city's made safe again.
I'm like, I mean, I chose the house for a reason because it was away from everyone.
Towers can be rebuilt. I'm just glad that you weren't found among the dead.
I'm like, so what's the next day of the festival? Don't-
The next day of the festival is hold on a second. I forgot what it's called.
I rem-
The sacrament of the moon.
Sacrament of the moon.
which would have made the werewolf double hit points of what he already
I'm
was.
glad we got him before that.
But wouldn't that also affect the other magic users from Parth? Would they also not be as powerful?
No,
Twice as powerful? No, just the
No.
werewolf.
no, because he
Werewolf
was
thing.
he was a
Because he was
Ravenloft werewolf.
Okay, he was a Lycan. All right. Okie dokie. Just making
Um,
sure.
I asked her if she's ever been to the floating city.
she goes, me? No, I've heard of its wonders. Then though,
I'm like, let's go. It's fun.
all right, Harper's like, I'm going.
I'm like, let's go. Come on,
Let's
it's
go, the
fun.
three of us. So you and Elsha and Harper go to the floating city,
Yeah.
and you spend some time gambling and drinking and having fun. And Elsha actually enjoys herself, and she cuts loose.
She's dancing on tables. She's
Good.
Third off.
And you see that Reza has actually won 3,000 gold.
Oh, wow.
good man.
And he's also made some new friends too. So
Good.
He's
All
already
right.
building the guild. That's awesome.
Samdal.
Yeah.
You get back to the tower, you see that your armor's been repaired, your weapons cleaned, everything is like back in your room.
Okay. I actually, when I pull up, I say, "This is my personal steed. Will you please get it a new saddle, saddlebags, get it ready to travel soon?
Of course, Captain.
Thank you." Okay, then I can go upstairs.
All right. And then you just go to bed?
What
Huh?
time is it?
It's late. I mean, it's like the middle of the night. You hear
Yeah.
somewhere from one of the courtyards below, you hear elf song.
Okay.
There are it's like a choir of elves singing in the courtyards below.
All right. I throw some water out the window, tell them to shut up. It's late.
Shut the fuck up.
Get off my lawn.
All right.
No, I go to sleep.
Okay, so you go to sleep. Sledge.
Yeah.
All right. So you spend some time with the gnomes. The gnomes are like really interested. They're like politely like asking you about where you get your power from and how you live, but they're polite about it.
No. I'm grateful to share the information with them because if anybody can fix me, it'd probably be them.
And they're like, they said, you see, one of them is a gnomish female, and she says, just looking at you, I see that there may be some improvements that could be made.
Which kind?
Well, I mean, I feel like there's opportunities for us to make enhancements to your body.
Would you be willing to do so? I'd be happy to
Uh,
show you.
Perhaps given some time. She goes, would you mind if I made some drawings of you?
Not at all. I would be grateful.
All right.
So I'll let them. I pose and
She
stuff.
takes out some charcoal. She spends most of the night like making sketches of you.
Fascinating.
So this is where we're going to leave off until next week, guys.